Hi, everyone. Welcome to our second annual Harvard Eleganza Youth Speech Competition. I'm Ashley Zhuang, and I'm one of the executive producers for the Eleganza Show at Harvard College. So just a bit about Eleganza. Eleganza is an annual dance and fashion show founded in 1994 by Harvard Student Cultural Organization. Our organization has a mission of redefining beauty and aesthetics on campus and advocating for principles of justice and diversity. Last year, we had a really successful first edition of this speech competition, and we're so grateful for the Harvest Education Group and the Chinese Youth and Women Development Organization for sponsoring our show and for partnering with us to hold this competition. The theme of the competition is sustainability and what we can do to save our Earth, and the speeches you see today will all address this topic. Before we get into our speeches, I'll invite Carrie Yu, the chairwoman of Chinese Youth and Women Development Organization, to say a few words.
Perfect. Good evening, everyone. On behalf of the Chinese Youth and Women Development Nonprofit Organization, I would like to express my sincere gratitude to the Harvard University Eleganza organization for their unwavering support of our youth programs, especially the annual youth speech contest that is exclusively organized for us. We're thrilled to announce that this year's speech contest will once again focus on sustainable and environmental issues, just like the previous year. Our goal is to continue raising the awareness of these critical issues and inspire next generations to take social responsibility and becoming the leaders in the fight of the better future. We're eager to hear all the speeches tonight that the contestants are working really hard to prepare. So thank you again to the organization, which is the Eleganza organization, for partnering with us and to make this event possible. Thank you so much.
Thank you, Carrie. And thank you so much again to the Harvest Education Group and the Chinese Youth and Women Development Organization. Next, I'll invite Amelia Tu, Miss Universe Canada 2022, and one of tonight's judges to say a few words.
Hi, everyone. Thank you so much for having me here today. My name is Amelia, and I am the current Miss Universe Canada. And I'm just so honored to be on the panel for judging the speeches tonight. You know, as a student myself, currently at UC Berkeley, I'm also someone who is really passionate about sustainability, but especially within the fashion industry. And so it was just really heartwarming to see all these children give such passionate speeches about how things that they are doing towards fighting against global warming. So thank you again so much for having me. It's really an honor.
Amazing. Thank you so much, Amelia. It's such an honor to have you as a judge. In addition to Amelia, we will also have two more judges tonight, Maya Pasternak, Eleganza's finance director, and Melanie Voles, Eleganza's sponsorships director. We would also like to thank all the parents and teachers who helped support our contestants during this process. And we'd also like to acknowledge the public speaking coach, Sherry, for all of your help.
Hi, everyone. Good luck, everyone. Absolutely.
Thank you.
Thank you so much, Sherry. Great. Now we'll just turn our attention to the speeches from the contestants. First up, we have the child division, and our first contestant is Roy Shi Lee. So let me just pull up that video real quick. Okay, can everyone see my screen?
Greetings.
Yes.
Okay, perfect.
Greetings. My name is Li Ruixi. Today, I want to give some opinions on saving the earth in a sustainable way. It seems nowadays most of the people realize that the climate change is a big issue. We are anxious for the improvement, but the result is not good. To give an example, the white pollution, plastics, is more than ever before because people like eating takeaway and online shopping. And even if degradable material has been applied in a lot of countries, The growth of human desire is always faster than the degradation underneath the ground. Should we blame it or just admit it is the nature of human and consequence of technologies? If we want to save the earth in a sustainable way, we need to find a solution not against human nature. I suggest that all global scientists unite together to invent a reverse technology that can transform the plastics back to fossil oil and a new mirror reflection technology to redistribute the sunlight for temperature balance. And Minecraft, my favorite game, can also be helpful if they can set big bonuses in the game and give them to players who protect the environment in real actions every day. This is my point of view, and thank you for listening. Let's save the earth together.
Amazing. Next up in our child division, we have Lu Ting Wang.
Hi, I'm Anzi. As you can see, what I wear today is a classic Chinese custom and hair decoration which are only used for big occasions. I will start my speech from this today, how clothes change the world. I'm 11 years old. There were 3 years out of 11 which I had to cover my face with mask and trap design most of the time. There are two kinds of life during the pandemic. The protective clothing. My last trip with my family in Dubai. Which way of life do we prefer? Definitely, we wanted the one with safety and joys. The environment can support us to wear fashionable clothes whenever we want, show our attractiveness whenever we go. For many girls or women would ask themselves in every morning, what dress shall I put on today? Some of us decide to buy more because we have no idea how to match them. This hesitation may bring huge wastage for our planet. Each year, a staggering 100 billion or more items of clothing are made. About 20% remained unsold, ending up in landfills. The incinerator or the shredder was just a small proportion of clothes being recycled. As a future eco-friendly fashion designer, I'm leading a group of youth to do something for your wardrobes and you. Our companions work under the concept of less clothes, more attractive. We get many young fashion designers to train people how to make their current clothes in more fashionable ways, and train them how to change old clothes into more update. The more people involved, the more eco benefits we get. You may be curious about how we think of this great idea. We are inspired by Chinese traditional wisdom applied in clothes and hair ornaments design. Let me show you. These fine dangling ornaments remind us to do things within the limits, balance between our demands and nature capacity. That is one way to explain and launch sustainability. Let's make our world better steps by steps in a sustainable way.
Thank you so much, Lu Ting. Next, we have Junren Tai.
It's a great pleasure to take this opportunity to talk about how China can do to helping our planet. As people may consider, the world of sustainability is big and far away from us. There is a pencil and some chocolate in my hands. Today, I would like to share with you my story how we have more have invented this word simply by these two items. On February 17, 2023, a group of tiny children showed in English different ways of filter left out to other people. It was played on the huge screen in Competition Conference Room in Montreal, Canada. It is an honor to be on behalf of all Chinese children to show our smart ideas to the people from different countries. I was lucky to be one of them, and I made a huge painting with brush to this conference. It has been collected by the COP15 committee. So it took me a long time. It can inspire more people around the world. It's worthy of all the efforts. Speaking of the chocolate, I helped to always 12 kids from 3 to 17 years old. Each of you spoken English and call on people around us to have more eco-friendly life in the future. The chocolate played an important role of getting their environment. You know the kids, the more people, the merrier. I have heard many people who regret their past bad favors. People want to make and change now to have a different future. So for the planet, the adults have had enough solutions. Now I think it's the time to simply make them happen.
Great. Next in our preteen division, we have Xishan Yin.
Is the largest, most important, one of the more beautiful natural landscapes in the world. It has the richest biodiversity of about 230,000 known species and holds about 8.5 million creatures. The largest number out of all ecosystems, and still only 5% of all marine life have been discovered. That the ocean is the mysterious and wonderful place. Many ocean lovers come to admire her spectacular views and the extraordinary animals. However, despite adoration from many people, the environment of the ocean is deeply endangered. The biggest factor of this plastic. Scientists estimate that 8 million metric tons of plastic end up in our ocean each year. From socks to our pants of clothes to fishing nets, both types of plastic now glues our lives. It soon became a vicious cycle. Although plastic has tons of advantages, studies have found that plastic might be everywhere in sea animals, in drinking water, in food, and even in the air. We breathe small particles called nanoplastics, might even enter your cells. Adding onto the estimated 150 million metric tons currently circulating our oceans. Over 1 million marine animals are killed each year due to the plastic debris in the ocean. The animals are being tangled and poked in and stuck by all the costly abandoned plastic walking straw bottles. But plastic just seems to be so appealing. They're cheap, multi-functional, and durable. Plastics are synthetic, made from polymers, which are long molecules built around chains of carbon atoms. They are produced by the conversion of natural products, generally coming from oil, natural gas, or coal, which made them cheap and easy to access. Plastic causes irreversible harm to the earth. This is what we're doing right now to do what we can. We call for everyone to buy multiple-use straws and bring our own bottles and bags. In addition, you can pay more attention to environment charity organizations and actively participate in activities such as environmental marathons, beach cleaning. You can still start from your own community acts now by bringing biodegradable plastic bags, go to the nearby beaches or streets to clean up trash and plastic.
Now moving on to our teen division, we have our first speech from Siping Wang.
Art empowers the sustainability. I am a teen artist who is full of curiosity of our nature. Here are my artworks and some of my collections. Like many influential artists, nature inspires us. When the long drought dried up rivers, both our imagination and its inspiration have gone too. That would be a shame for everyone. Now it's time to do something. Have you ever thought as artists or amateurs what we could do for our planet? This is designed for this moment, which will be heard by you, my new friends from all over the world. I'm from China, and I define the concept of art empowers the sustainability like this. China, C, creativity, H, harmony, I, inspiration, N, nature, and A, art. I'm a designer, by the way. Pretty cool, isn't it? Applying your own specialty into the environmental conservation is the mission of our life, and it's urgent and prime. A coincidence reminds us something. When C in China is lowercase, that means porcelain. Let me share you a story about China. Ancient Chinese ceramists created a kind of blue and white porcelain, which have been popular globally since the 10th century. The material, silica and cobalt, are from the nature, and its art format presented the wisdom of human being. It has demonstrated a harmonious lifestyle between nature and people. Tao Te Ching, a famous Chinese philosophy book, said, "Man imitates earth, earth imitates heaven, heaven follows the divine law, and the divine law follows nature." From China, we learned a wiser way to utilize the natural resources, and from China, we redefine how we use art to empower the environmental conservation. Sensitivity drives artists to explore the world. Now the responsibility drives everyone to engage global sustainable development. I am Aaron from China. Welcome to join my team to make our world better with art.
Thank you, Siping. Next, we have a speech from Eleanor Palmer in our teen division.
Hi, I'm Eleanor Palmer, and today I'll be talking about environmental sustainability and how I can help save the Earth. The planet we live on is dying a bit more every day because of us. Us humans are the main cause of global warming because we add so many greenhouse gases to our environment. All the power we use, like heat and electricity, adds so many greenhouse gases. And when we manufacture items, we are burning so many fossil fuels. These are just a couple of things that we do that are slowly killing the Earth. I'm trying to help save our planet as much as I can, and you can do the same. I'm already helping the environment by going to school in the same car as my brother every day, so we won't burn as many fossil fuels. But unfortunately, we don't have an electric car, but we're still reducing as much as we can by only taking one trip. Gas cars are bad for the ecosystem because they burn lots of gasoline and diesel, which is why electric cars are better because they produce no tailpipe emissions. I also use my reusable water bottle every day instead of using plastic bottles, because plastic bottles are extremely bad for our planet because they can take 450 years to break down into small microplastics. And as I said earlier, the electricity and heat that makes your home a nice and comfortable place to live in is bad for the environment, which is why my family decided to use solar panels so we can reduce the amount of fossil fuels being burned and have just as good power from the sun. On that note about the sun, which we see outside, we also see garbage littered everywhere. Whenever I unfortunately see this, I try my best to pick up as much garbage as I can see and throw it away properly into a trash can. All of these things I have talked about, I learned recently, which is not the only time I've learned how to help the environment, because I've also learned how to help the environment all the way back in kindergarten, which is where I first learned how to compost. At that school, we were taught what we can and cannot compost. And it's very useful because you don't want to be composting things you are not supposed to be composting. And there are a bazillion things that you can compost that you normally throw away in your garbage. And all garbage that you throw away goes into huge landfills, which produce so many greenhouse gases. But by composting, you're just repurposing some of that garbage. Just as you can put eggshells, veggie, and food scraps, dairy, paper towels, and a lot more into composting. Well, I can do so much more for our planet, but not just one person can help mitigate or adapt to global warming. It has to be a lot more of us. We have to keep trying to save our environment because it's us kids that will be living in it. Thank you.
Thank you, Eleanor. Now, our last speech from the teen division is from Dabby Huang.
Hello everyone, my name is Dabby. Hello everyone, my name is Dabby Huang, and this is my second speech on sustainability. We live a life comfortably sheltered from the harms of climate change. And we usually pass it off saying that the government will deal with it, since they have the money, the resources, that they will then take action. Though they have helped in the past with the Clean Air Act, the energy policy laws, we can't just forgive them for ignoring the thousands of letters sent to stop the Willow Project. For those who don't know, the Willow Project is an oil development project by ConocoPhillips, located on the plain of the National Petroleum Reserve in Alaska. Originally to construct and operate up to 5 drill pads for a total of 250 oil wells. The ConocoPhillips Willow Project would create up to a third of the emissions created from all of the coal plants across the country. The ConocoPhillips Willow Project wouldn't only produce emissions on its own, the project would also provoke treacherous gas leaks, which would spur further environmental issues. Our government is not the only one able to make a difference. As long as every one of us try to contribute to the sustainability of our planet we live on, we could make the biggest difference. We need to take matters into our own hands. Our planet is no longer the same as before. What you may not have realized is just how widespread climate change is, with only 5% of the planet enjoying air that meets international standards for quality. If we could just turn off some lights that we don't need them, save our energy we have at home, try walking or biking to places instead of using cars that use gasoline or fossil fuels, or as simple as just eating more vegetables. This might sound like a lot to ask, but this is the world we live in. Every time we ignore the signs of climate change, our world will only get worse. We as humans will have disagreements, but we all live on one planet. So if we can all put our personal problems aside for a moment and help sustain the world we live on, the world that we grew up on, the world our parents and our ancestors grew up on, we have a future on this earth if we just work together. Thank you.
Thank you, Dabby, for closing out our teen division. Now we'll be moving on to our youth junior division. And our first speech is from Jory Liang.
My name is Jory Liang and I'm 15 years old. Recently, I memorized an excerpt from Carl Sagan's book, The Pale Blue Dot. In this excerpt, there was a line that goes something like this: On our planet, everyone you love, everyone you know, everyone you ever heard of, every human being who ever was lived out their entire lives. And it's true. Our planet is the one thing that connects every single one of us, yet we are the ones constantly causing irreparable damage to our planet Earth. According to the New York Times and the United Nations, if everything were to stay the same and we continue to harm our planet Earth, then we can expect to cross the point of irreversible impacts somewhere between the years of 2026 and 2042. 2026 is the year I'm expected to graduate from high school, a mere 3 years away. In just 3 years, all the consequences that you've ever heard of could become true. That's not the kind of world we want our kids to grow up in, not the kind of world we want them to live in. To me, being sustainable means taking care of both our people and our planet, and it's a way of managing our resources that doesn't harm anyone or anything. Right now, in the midst of fighting against global warming, being sustainable is one of our only accessible defenses. I can be sustainable by implementing the 3 R's: reducing, reusing, and recycling. As someone who loves fashion and purchasing clothing, it's easy for me to just consume. Yet I need to make sure that I'm reducing emissions, reducing my carbon footprint, and reducing my consumerism. Before buying a garment, I need to make sure that it's something I can use for a very long time, and it's something that can benefit the earth. That leads me to reusing, meaning using an item for the longest time possible so that this purchase is justified and good for our planet. For reusing, we can also repurpose, giving an item a new purpose after you feel like its old purpose is already used. I could repurpose an old skirt as a washcloth, and that way the garment's life could be elongated. That leads me to recycling, the final R. Recycling could mean purchasing from brands or companies that use recyclable materials or sell garments that already are made from recycled items. But recycling could also mean focusing on cycle, elongating a garment's life through passing it through multiple people and generations. I can repurpose and recycle clothing by giving clothing to my family or friends or donating to charity. Through my nonprofit organization called Vision Envoy, I was able to be sustainable through hosting winter clothes drives. I know that we can all come together and be sustainable in order to live in harmony with our planet Earth. Together, let's create a more sustainable future. Thank you.
Thank you, Jory. Next up in our Youth Junior category, we have Ophelia Liu.
From the formation of our Earth, multiple living organisms have rose and evolved to adapt to this planet. And among these animals are us humans. And as us humans evolve and change, we change the planet along with us. But in our quest for innovation and perfection, we have caused global warming, an extinction crisis, pollution, and overpopulation. Before, we were unaware about the impact that our actions had on our environment. And now we are in danger of total environmental collapse. Our Earth is telling us that it needs our help, and it's about time we answer its call. It's not like we are unable to help the environment. We proved that we can collaborate together as a world when the ozone layer turned out to have a hole in it. The Montreal Protocol was the quickest environmental treaty to ever be implemented on an international level. And if the protocol stays in place, the ozone layer will be restored back to its levels in 1980 before the appearance of the ozone hole in 1985 by 2040. The Montreal Protocol was so effective because of the huge level of cooperation by the international community. It only took them 4 years for universal ratification, from the discovery of the hole to putting the treaty into effect around the globe. And according to Climate Clock, we have about 6 years and 121 days until the global temperature rises above 1.5 degrees Celsius, a point of no return. Science tells us that after going beyond that temperature, the worst climate impacts on our world will be inevitable. The problem is that politicians have deemed this goal politically impossible, but the Montreal Protocol combats that statement. We can make a change in our world quickly, but if politicians will not listen to us, then we must take this into our own hands. Global energy coming from renewable sources is currently at 12.5% and rising. Although it is not rising fast enough to lower carbon emissions to a safer level, we can help the world by reducing our own carbon emissions, like carpool or walking, unplugging our devices, turning off the lights, taking the stairs, or changing our light bulbs to compact fluorescent light bulbs that last up to 10 times longer and use 75% less energy than our regular light bulbs. The Climate Clock website has a brilliant motto. We have one deadline and many lifelines. Let's act in time. We can't just sit around and let politicians with too much time and power in our hands to dictate our fate, especially when we can help change our planet for the better. We only have 6 years and the clock is ticking fast. We have to make a change now, no matter how small it seems, for the good of our Earth and for the good of us.
Thank you, Ophelia. Next in our youth junior category, we have Kathleen Zhang.
Good day. My name is Kathleen. Good day. My name is Kathleen Zhang. I am 14 years old and I am in 9th grade. I am in the teen age division. What is sustainability? The Oxford Dictionary, sustainability is the ability to be maintained at a certain rate or level. What about to environmental activists? The members of our community who devote their brilliance and time to preserving our beloved home. To them, sustainability would mean much more than just recycling. It is their way of giving back to the world and advocating for the Earth's health. Helping the Earth preserve its finite resources may seem like a large and impossible task for you and me, but it's astonishing how much of a difference we can make working together. Even seemingly minor acts can contribute to a large outcome. To me, sustainability is looking after the Earth's needs while allowing everyone, present and future, to be able to thrive in this beautiful world. I strive to keep the Earth's health in my mind whenever possible. Some simple starts begin with keeping track of resource usage. For example, I make sure to turn on the faucet accordingly with reasonable usage, turn off the lights when exiting a room, and reducing carbon footprint by walking or biking to areas within a safe distance. As an arts and crafts lover, I love to collect anything that may seem like trash and reuse it again. My family keeps a great garden, and we like to have a compost bin, avoiding the landfill while providing nutrients for the plants. Sustainability is enjoyable and it's rewarding, not just morally, with a feeling of gratification, but also knowing that you did something to contribute to the Earth every day. Sustainability helps communities, people, as well as animals, plants, and the Earth. But most importantly, it helps our future. Let's go from asking, what can we do, to saying what we can do, to sharing what we do.
Great, and that closes out our youth junior category. Moving on to our final category, we have the youth senior category. And our first contestant is Leon Palmer.
Hi, I'm Leon Palmer. Environmental sustainability. That's a big word, and it means many things. Environmental sustainability, to its core, is about maintaining and improving our planet's natural environment. This is so that the future of our race, kids, have something to work with. If nothing is done immediately, and we continue down this path, our planet will become unsalvageable. This is not fair for future generations, and should not be tolerable for everyone here today. People often say we need to save the environment, but what they don't say is what must be done. On a larger scale, major companies and countries must be kept in check. They cannot be allowed to put themselves before everybody else on this earth. This planet takes priority. This is what needs to be done on the large scale. And this is done through protesting, voting, and making our voices heard through activism. Yes, I understand this seems daunting, and to the individual feels unlikely to create change. However, there are small things that every single person can also do. For instance, just ensuring to recycle, supporting businesses that do help the environment, and conserving water, and just so much more. Environmental sustainability is impossible for any individual to solve, but together we can all pitch in to create the whole that is preserving our environment. Thank you.
Thank you, Leon. Next up in our youth senior category, we have Daniel Xian.
Whenever you open social media, you're bound to see images of polar bears being stranded on tiny pieces of ice, marine animals with metric tons of plastic being stuck in their stomachs, and factories pumping out greenhouse gases like there is no tomorrow. Well, all of these social media posts call attention to one thing, which is that we are damaging the environment. And this is why sustainability is such an important issue. Sustainability simply refers to preserving our environment for future generations. And this basically boils down to 2 points. One is reducing our carbon footprint, and 2 is reducing the amount of resources that we are using. Although this might seem like an intimidating issue, rest assured, because it's not. There are millions of people who are committed to creating a more sustainable future for all of us. Even big companies like Apple are doing so. Recently, Apple has created a new system where if you choose to, you can have your device only draw from renewable sources. We've also seen an influx in the amount of electric vehicles. These electric vehicles are crucial in creating a more sustainable transportation system, since traditional gas vehicles produce a lot of carbon emissions. So now we have the question is, what can you do to create a more sustainable future? You can always change your lifestyle by biking to work or school rather than driving a car, and also reusing the water. The water from your showers or dishes can be reused to flush the toilet, essentially doubling the amount of usage your water has. This is cutting in half water usage. And imagine if all 8 billion people in the world did this, the impact would be astronomical. But what if you're not willing to change your lifestyle? I understand that, and it's a big step forward, but if you aren't willing to, there are also smaller things that you can do to create a more sustainable future. The next time you leave the house or brush your teeth, I just want you to take 5 seconds. It only takes 5 seconds to turn off your light when you leave and turn off the tap water when you brush your teeth. Your actions will create a more sustainable future for generations to come.
Great. Now we have our final video in the youth senior category from Olivia He.
Hi, my name is Olivia He, and I will be presenting a speech on sustainability. Everything in this world is connected one way or another, from the people to the environment, and from the environment to the people. Not only are they connected in a circle in which what we do and how we act will circle back to us. Many people don't believe in making a change for the global warming problems because they don't believe that one person can actually make an impact on this world. However, environmentally speaking, every small step you take to change the world will affect your surroundings positively. Some well-known ways to include into your daily life is using the reduce, reuse, recycle method, grocery shopping with reusable bags, saving electricity when it's not needed, and transporting to different areas without the usage of a car. For example, there are also some indirect ways to help make a change in this world by learning more on how your daily life and daily used products are made. Vegan leather is currently on the rise to be the most sought after material because of veganism and the viewpoint of animal cruelty. However, I actually avoid vegan leather with most products unless I know how the materials are produced. This is because of the fact that vegan leather directly avoids the traditional leather method, which is the usage of animal skin, that the production of vegan leather actually causes more harm than when using traditional leather. Both of these materials are not the greatest options, and they both have their pros and cons. Therefore, to contribute to the environmental changes, I suggest buying secondhand clothing. I am a huge fashion geek, so I'm environmentally conscious about how my clothes are made and whether buying them new is better than buying them secondhand. But also keep in mind the fact that fast fashion is also a problem. Fast fashion caters to low consumer prices and creates more waste in this world while having the production process create more pollution and global warming. I know that when I am buying secondhand clothing, I am making an impact in this world because I believe in changing it. So when you believe in changing this world, I also know you make an impact because of your everyday life. Thank you.
Thank you, Olivia. And that was all of the speeches that we'll be hearing tonight. Thank you so much to our contestants for the incredible speeches on sustainability. We'll now take the next 5 minutes to gather our competition results, and we'll return at 8:47 Eastern. Welcome back, everybody. Are we ready to hear the results? Okay, great. So first for the child division, in first place, we have Roy Shi Li, and in second place, we have Lu Ting Wang. In the preteen division, in first place, we have Shi San Yin, and in the second place, we have Jun Ran Tai. In the teen division, in first place, we have Eleanor Palmer. In second place, we have Dabby Huang, and in third place, we have Siping Wang. In the youth junior division, we have Jory Liang in first place, and we have a tie for second place between Kathleen Zhang and Ophelia Liu. Finally, in the youth senior division, we have Daniel Xian in first place, Olivia He in second place, and Leon Palmer in third place. And those are our results for tonight. Thank you all so much for attending our second annual Harvard Eleganza Youth Speech Competition. Okay.
Thank you very much. Thank you. Good night.
Good night.
Good night. Thank you.